Joining us right now is Karl Rove. Karl's been following this election like nobody else. His analysis is invaluable, and you know him as the former Deputy Chief of Staff of George W. Bush and Wall Street Journal, the FoxNews.com journalist. First off, over the last 2 weeks, Karl, I know you've been a tough critic of Donald Trump in the past. Do you think that they've gotten on track?
I think they're going more in the right direction, yeah. I thought he had a good week last week, giving speeches from teleprompter so he could drive home a message for that day. I thought the visit to Louisiana was entirely adroitly done. Low-key, focused on the people there, didn't try and make a big splash with it, and as a result, made a big splash with it. So
sure.
I think the new management team, at least Kellyanne Conway, seems to be moving things in the right direction.
Yeah. Karl, it came out today, 85 of the 154 non-governmental individuals who have access to Hillary Clinton while she was with the State Department, they were also giving money. They were donors to the Clinton Foundation. What was your reaction about this?
Pretty jaw-dropping, because realize this is only the first 2 years of her, only half of her term as Secretary of State, and half of the private individuals, more than half of the private individuals who show up are contributors to the foundation, and they gave over $150 million at least. And this is after, in January 2009, at her confirmation hearing, she promised the Senate Foreign Relations Committee that she would avoid even the appearance of conflict, and this strikes me as a big conflict, because these were, in some cases, pleading for self-interest. She appointed,
sure,
for example, a guy who's a commodities trader in Chicago to a very select commission that has to do with nuclear proliferation and nuclear security issues. He was totally unexperienced, totally unqualified, and immediately was forced to resign. But what was he this year? He was a superdelegate for Hillary in Philadelphia.
Wow, what are the odds? Karl, right here outside 1 hour ago, we had James Carville on. Of course, he's been with the Clintons for decades. Yesterday, he said that, you know, if people stop giving to the Clinton Foundation, people will die. He also today defended the Clinton Foundation and talked about how the Clintons have never taken a penny. Listen to this.
Bill, Hillary, and Chelsea Clinton have never taken a penny from the foundation. In fact, they've given them millions of dollars. The board of the foundation serves without pay. It is a 5-star rated foundation by Charity Watch. It is one of the best-run foundations in the world. Now, the idea that people are involved in the foundation are also involved with public-private partnerships around the world. That's one of the things that they do. So, of course, and this does not count, as the list pointed out, didn't count heads of state or people from government.
So he's got no problem because they're doing some good work, according to him, and Charity Watch.
Well, Charity Navigators, a group that evaluates charities, long ago criticized the foundations for spending too little on programs and too much on overhead, including some $40 million to move the Clintons around the country. Now, he may be right that they haven't taken a penny, but their lifestyle has been subsidized by this. And I believe Chelsea Clinton is actually now on the payroll of the foundation. Look, this is stinky. Sure, they do good things, but they do good things in a bad way and in a way that makes it sound like it's quid pro quo. Remember the Canadian uranium guy who gives several $100 million? He does so after Bill Clinton flies on his airplane to Kazakhstan in order to convince the Kazakh government to give him some concessions. And then, incidentally, he also buys a significant amount of uranium assets in the United States, all the while giving money to the foundation through a Canadian front group that can hide the names of all of the individual donors, even though she promised in 2009 to be completely forthcoming about every single donor to the foundation. Now, look, this provides too many opportunities for conflict, or at least the appearance of conflict, and either one of them undermines public confidence and trust in the president. If she's elected, they need to shut it down. No more using quote, good works to subsidize their lifestyle and to put themselves in a place where it looks like a conflict of interest.
Karl,
it is a conflict of interest.
Karl, when you were talking, I just looked up for a second because it felt like it was raining for a second. There's actually a window washer machine about 45 or 50 stories up. So maybe we could turn a camera around and get a picture of that?
Yeah, we're not foaming at the mouth. It's the suds off the squeegee.
That's right. Anyway,
but real quick, let's talk about Louisiana and the president showing up yesterday. Here it is 2 weeks later. He says it doesn't really matter that much, but you do remember how when he was a senator, he hammered your ex-boss, George Bush. Is he right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that much when you show up?
Well, it mattered a lot to him then. Bush was actively involved in everything connected with Katrina, pressuring the state and local officials to call an evacuation, talking to them constantly, organizing federal resources, going there 3 days after it happened. This president, this current president, then criticized him, saying it was, quote, passive indifference. Well, we've had this president, President Obama, was so critical in 2005, stay on his vacation, have at least 10 rounds of golf, spend a day at a private beach, go out 4 nights in a row out on the town, attend a Hillary Clinton fundraiser, and then after his vacation is over, he deigns to go to Louisiana and say, I'm here, your president. So I think passive indifference was not an appropriate remark to describe President Bush, but it is a good self-analysis for President Obama.
Sure, and Donald Trump was able to go down there. You know, we tried to get some pictures of him at certain events, but he said, look, it's close to the press because he didn't want to make it a campaign thing.
I thought that was well done. Incidentally, happy Waffle Day.
Thank you.
You may not know this, but waffles have a presidential connection.
What do you mean?
President William McKinley fell in love with his future bride, Ida Saxton, when he saw her eating
chocolate chip?
Creamed chicken on a waffle at Myers Lake in Canton, Ohio.
That's
First time he ever
waffle.
met her, and she was tucking it into it with such gusto that he fell in love with her and eventually married her.
Oh, fantastic.
Hey, is your book still available about William McKinley?
It is. The Triumph of William McKinley, available at Amazon.com or your local bookseller.
That's fantastic. All right. Karl, thank you very much for joining us from Austin, Texas today.
Thank you.